Now let's go to Deborah Kostroun at the New York Stock Exchange for a look at today's trading. Deborah.
Well, thanks a lot, Pimm. You know, lots of things to be confident about in the markets right now, at least in equities. And that's one of the reasons that we saw the Dow hitting its highest level since June of 2008. And back in 2008, the Dow was at 12,000. And right now we are inching ever so closely in the Dow Jones Industrial Average up to 12,000. So why all this optimism? Well, traders say right now we have earnings. They've been fairly good, and companies have a lot of cash. And when companies have cash, it allows them to do things like buybacks and M&As. And that's a couple of things that we saw in today's session that really helped out the market. Intel, that stock higher after adding $10 billion to its stock buyback plan. And then there was news that Smurfit Stone Container agreed to be bought by Rock-10 for $3.5 billion. So all those kinds of actions like M&A, stock buybacks, really positive for the market here, Pimm.
Deborah, now we started off the week on an upswing, but it's a pretty well-packed schedule this week. A lot of earnings and a lot of economic reports to come.
You know, we really do. This week, 128 companies in the S&P 500 will be reporting those earnings. We had several earnings after the close. Julie Hyman will have some of those after the bell earnings coming up. And tomorrow morning, even before the open, we have earnings from companies like Verizon, 3M, Johnson & Johnson, and DuPont, so some big-name companies. And we talked about the optimism that we do have for earnings so far. 75% of companies that have reported in the S&P, they have beaten those estimates, and analysts are boosting estimates for many companies. And on top of all that, we have the Fed decision on Wednesday, tons of economic reports, and the expectation is those economic reports will be good. So all of this really kind of giving the market a lift. We'll see if it can last, Pimm. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Deborah Kostroun reporting from the New York Stock Exchange.